That's right, my friends. There are elements of Raw each and every single week that we do not talk about enough as a community. They kind of get mentioned, mostly by me on Ups and Downs. We can check out right now, What Culture Wrestling. But I want to talk about them properly because they make me laugh. So yeah, Raw was the other day. Here's 10 moments we need to talk about more. 10, that's Drew McIntyre in a hoodie.
That is Drew McIntyre in a hoodie!
This is what brand new Raw commentator Joe Tessitore said when Drew McIntyre did go to attack CM Punk. This is one of the greatest calls I've ever heard in my life. It's so literal. It's so direct. It's so matter of fact. Because sometimes in wrestling, Solo Sikoa, it's always Solo Sikoa. It's definitely Solo Sikoa. When somebody does turn up in a hoodie, we have to act like, oh my gosh, I don't know who this person is. I'm so confused right now. Where's Joe? Day one. Day one of the job. We're just like, yep, it's Drew McIntyre in a hoodie. Then looked around like, what? What do you want from me, huh? I'm calling it like it is. Also, it was Drew McIntyre in a hoodie, and anybody else would be able to understand this. Just because we are living in the magical world of wrestling doesn't mean you have to buy into the stupid tropes all the time. It's like Cody Rhodes used to say, the magical getting trapped in the ring when somebody's outside. We can leave the ropes. So, I wanted to start this off by just giving a massive round of applause to Joe Tessitore. I actually thought he did a great job. I really, really did. First day on a brand new job with a bunch of stupid wrestling fans like me and you go, nah, we don't know what to expect. Absolutely, there's more he can do, but he'll know that. He's a super duper professional. I'm pumped about this. I think it's going to be a good move. Number 9 is that 3 times during Monday Night Raw, the most powerful force in all of sports entertainment, the commercial break, screwed over the baby faces. Now, we need to figure out who is putting on these commercials, why are these adverts happening, and what the hell happens when it does go dark. Now, people always say to me, Simon, you never say this on AEW. Yeah, because I watch it on Triller TV, and they just show me all of the matches. There is no commercials, so I don't know where the commercials are, and I'm not going to be some sad geek that types in when AEW Dynamite commercials. I've got real problems, man, and that ain't happening, so I can only do it from a WWE standpoint, and I'm sure AEW does do it too. But we have to stop screwing over the baby faces just because an advert airs. Because eventually what's going to happen is I'm going to live basically half my life in America from 2025, so you can book me as a wrestler or an actor, whatever you want. I've got my working papers. The point is this, I'm going to be out there watching Raw live, and I don't want to start hating Domino's or Pizza Hut or Nike or BMW. I mean, I hate most of them anyway, but I don't want to start hating them because they continually screw over Jey Uso. So consider this a warning in the same way I warned people social media the other day, Simon316, no more aura, no more live show charisma, whatever the flub that one, no more cinema. This was only a joke. I was joking around. I was talking about the words, and nobody understands. Number 8 is a nice one. Maxine Dupri, she got way better.
But the entire roster has to bring this home for Alpha Academy. Maxine.
That's it. People jumped on her case way too much. It wasn't her fault somebody said, do you want to be on television, Maxine Dupri, after you've only been training for 5 minutes? Nobody would turn that down. You have to take the opportunities that are presented to you, and she's clearly been busting her ass. And I know that she didn't do a mega comeback, just a couple of clotheslines, a Northern Light suplex, and a big old dive, but it all looked crisp, it all looked fast, and it made me proud of her. She doesn't need my pride. That's an embarrassing thing that I've just said out of my mouth, but I love seeing it. It's why I love NXT so much. I love seeing that people get better and better and better and improving, because people forget these are real people with real lives, and sometimes you can be mean about them, and you're perfectly allowed to be mean. You're perfectly allowed to criticize them to your heart's degree. Because I am a bit of a nerd, I just think people go too far. So when someone kind of stands in the way of those criticisms and dulls them a little bit, I say good work. Number 7 was this. Ooh. If you were Julius Creed, you'd be so mad, right? Imagine someone did that to you. Imagine I did that to you. Imagine I decided to manage your school soccer team. That's right, I'm going to move to America. I don't want to talk about it again. And I walked up to you, Brad, and I went, Brad. Slapped you around the face. You'd be like, what are you doing? You bought a-hole. You shouldn't have done that. I didn't like that at all, but it must have worked because Julius Creed, my word, did you see him during that same match? He was bumping his took us off as well. When Otis smashed him into the apron, he went flying to barricade. That guy just goes, and he'd done a move outside on Tozawa before that. He did a kip up. It was the most effortless kick up I've ever seen in my life. That is what I'm going to call it, the effortless kip up, which should be the EK, effortless kick up, EKU. There you go. Why did it take me so long? It sounds like a procedure you're about to have done to your heart. But I feel like we should be talking about what a dickhead Chad Gable is. Now he's walking around slapping people, and all of a month ago said, oh, Otis, please take me back. So Otis, you totally did the right thing. Number 6 was a super nice one too, and sad in many ways, because Zelina Vega got really sad about this sign.
She's sign hunting Wade. I wish somebody would make signs for me.
Now, I'm pretty sure, I went and did some reading about it, it is referring to her father, who passed away in the 9/11 attacks. Now, when wrestling fans do discuss this, it goes to the Madison Square Garden show when Zelina Vega was meant to perform on that. I think it was around an anniversary for September 11th, maybe last year or the year before that, and she got taken off the show, and Vince McMahon apparently apologized, but that is not cool. That never should have happened. So I like the fact that moments like this can go down, and she probably wasn't expecting I think she was like crying before she had the match with Shayna Baszler. But that's what wrestling is about. This goes back to what we talked about all of 30 seconds ago. They're real people with real emotions, and if somebody can actually get through to them like this and make them feel that good, I'll never have a problem with it. And they didn't do this. Well, they had a bit of miscommunication, but who cares? But if a wrestler then goes and botches something, as people have to talk about, that's why who cares? Who cares? This is the real stuff. This is the stuff I like the most. Number 5, Punk and Drew could have had a baby. Because this has now been going on for 9 months, right? 9 months. Now, we've already talked about Drew McIntyre being in a hoodie. But obviously now he's taken the bracelet and he tried to make CM Punk eat it, which is a perfectly normal and rational thing to do. But I understand they've been injured. But that, to me, makes this even more incredible. And again, I think we should start shouting about it. It started in January by accident when CM Punk did very sadly did get injured. But then via social media or promos that we've done or just thinking outside the box, we have got a feud, like I say, that has gone on as long as the pregnancy period. And I think that is a massive feather in everybody's cap. WWE never would have done something like this in the past. You would have been told to go home and then brought back way too early, which would have made your injuries 10 times worse. Whereas here, we're leading into Bad Blood, probably in a Hell in a Cell. I don't know about you, but I can't wait to see it. And you've got, I don't know how many people were there last night, 10,000 people or whatever, screaming because Drew McIntyre destroyed a bracelet, right? That's what wrestling is all about, putting meaning onto things that otherwise would just be a completely inanimate object. So just great stuff by both of these guys. I think maybe it did help Punk because he kind of did whoop Drew's ass at Clash at the Castle, not Clash at the Castle, Bash in Berlin. So now Drew to get his heat back in this when he was so damn intense during this. And let's not forget after this, when they're on the stretcher, Drew McIntyre tried to kill him. Anna Pierce definitely thought this too. Watch his reaction. Why are we not talking about that more? It was so funny. It was so, hi! What was he trying to achieve? And then after Drew finally had been chased away, it's like, Punk, can you talk, Punk? Punk, don't talk. What are you going to do now? He's dead. He's dead. You killed him. You need to take a page out of Nick Aldis's GM book. Actually, don't. I love both of them, and I love the fact they're kind of a yin to a yang. Adam Pearce is my favorite GM ever. I think Adam Pearce is like an underrated gem. He's so funny. He makes me laugh out loud in a good way, and he really could take control of his show better. Like earlier on, Damian Priest went after a match, and Adam Pearce said, I can't give you a singles match with Finn Balor because he only wants a tag. You're in charge. Adam Pearce, you can decide, but he's awesome. He's so good, and he is almost deliberately a focal point for lols. Shouldn't have said that, but it makes it even better. So I may even come up with a whole segment every week where I just praise Adam Pearce. Number 3 is that we got Dragonov and Dragon Lee going at it, and yes, they kind of fell down to Powerbomb. I don't care about this stuff because the 5 minutes, whatever it was, we did get. We got to run this back. We got to do a program between the two, especially because Dragon Lee can't even get on the TV, which, if I was a dragon, I'd be super annoyed about.
Time.
There's the stop.
And Dragonov, I think we're just holding fire with him until we come up with something big. They're both out of the Intercontinental title tournament now, but there's a feud right there. Sometimes I don't like it when Raw and SmackDown copy stories, but I would just copy what we're doing with, what the hell they called Carmella Hayes and Andrade. Don't say you're doing it, but let them have, back-to-back matches, and they'll just kill it, and they'll get better and better and better. They also have such conflicting styles, which gel so well. And this was only a few minutes on Monday Night Raw, but it's there, my friends. We have the structure for some serious cooking. Number 2 is Kairi Sane's death fall. I mean, this was absolutely terrifying, right? She went to the big old dive, whatever it was, and Isla Dawn pulled Bianca Belair in the way, and I suppose because there was so much movement, Kairi Sane just overshot it, and she went flying into Anna, the announce table. Oh my gosh, she busted up her eye. Something fierce. Hopefully I remember to put the image on the screen right now. Now, this actually was talked about a lot, but if someone is going to give that much in a random tag team match on Raw, we need to give it more, and we should talk about it all of the time. I mean, it was absolutely gruesome. I'm pretty sure it was her eyelid where the stitches had to get stitched, which is not a word, I just made it up, and nobody wants that. I don't even want people breathing in my eyes. So yeah, Kairi Sane, I mean, we knew this anyway. What an absolute badass. And number 1 is that I would assume soon we are going to do something between Rhea Ripley and Jey Uso. The reason I like this is because it winds people up on the internet, especially Rikishi. was Jey Uso's dad. He did an interview recently, forgive me, I can't remember who it was from, but I'll make sure I give all credit to them. He was like, man, I hate the way they're treating my son. Can't believe they want to team up with Rhea Ripley. It's just easy pops, man. Everyone loves Damian Priest, and everyone loves Rhea Ripley, and everyone loves Jey Uso. So if you do marry them all up together, you're just going to get pop times 3. It's why I don't care that they're kicking everybody's ass right now. Do you know who else used to do that? The Rock. Do you know who else used to do that? Steve Austin. Do you know who else? Hulk Hogan, etc., etc., etc. If sometimes you want to push somebody as a king, me, the viewer, will sit there and go, wow, I think they're the best person I've ever seen in my life. Just don't make it too romancy, man. We've done the stuff with Dom. I think we could walk away from it now. I mean, that has been the teasing, so we'll have to wait and see. But I haven't seen any weird, like, fan fiction or any weird images on the internet of Rhea Ripley and Jey Uso. I saw a ton of them when Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio were doing their thing, and now with Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio. So I don't need to see anymore. And given that we brought in Dom up, you know, he did insinuate that the reason that him and Liv Morgan lost at the pay-per-view premium live event is because they were banging too much. That's the truth. Don't get mad at me. That was the insinuation. I am just a messenger bringing it from the mouths of WWE to your ears. That's my job, and I'm not proud to do it, but I do it all the same. Now listen, there's going to be some moments from Raw that you want to talk about. Do it in the comments below, and we can start our conversation. Please like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Click the video on the screen, which is me giving your review for Bash in Berlin. I appreciate the comments. Otherwise, if you go to grillermind.com right now and use code Simon, grillermind.com/Simon, you can get 35% off, 30% off some pre-workout. You'll see it on the front page. Everything else is 10% off, so get fitness supplements that actually will work for you. If you want to get in shape at home, it's Go Fitness. Use code Simon20. Otherwise, it's patreon.com/Simon316. Simon316 on all of Instagram and Twitter and all that kind of a noise. Simon J. Miller on TikTok, Simon Miller on Cameo. Come and get your personalized voice message and buy a t-shirt. New designs going up very soon. One of them made me laugh out loud, especially if you're into Wizard of Oz references. If you know, you know. If you don't know, don't worry about it. Pro Wrestling Tees. Search for my name. Otherwise, keep enjoying wrestling, my friends. This is the Positive Corner. I'll see you soon.